officer from Ministry of Civil Aviation. So first we'll have updates from that ministry. So over to you, Mr. Asanta, for updates from Civil Aviation.
Good afternoon all and namaskar. The Indian civil aviation sector is currently navigating a serious operational and financial situation which is triggered by the conflict in West Asia, which we all know, and which began now a little over a month ago. The Ministry of Civil Aviation has implemented a multi-layered response focused on ensuring passenger safety and convenience while working on keeping the industry stable. The ministry is closely and continuously monitoring the evolving situation arising out of the ongoing conflict. As we all know, several countries including Iran, Iraq, Israel, Jordan, Lebanon, Kuwait, Qatar, Bahrain and the UAE have imposed airspace closures or severe restrictions, which has led to unprecedented disruption in global aviation networks and international connectivity. Despite these challenges and constrained conditions, Indian carriers who operate on international routes have demonstrated exceptional resilience and operational agility and maintained services in the aviation sector. There have been challenges, of course, one of these being that due to the airspace restrictions, flights, especially to Europe, North America, by Indian carriers have to take a longer route, which has increased the travel time and associated costs. In the midst of this evolving situation and scenario, the government has taken a number of steps to tackle the situation. On the ATF pricing, as you are all aware, a week ago it was due to the timely intervention by the government on the pricing of aviation turbine fuel, which constitutes around 40% of total operational costs of airlines, which has ensured that domestic airfares have remained stable. Moreover, the ministry is coordinating with other stakeholders and is actively engaged in working on significant measures to support the industry during this time. Some operational relaxations have also been extended, especially in the case of those longer routes, like I mentioned, to manage the strain on longer routes, basically, for which the DGCA has temporarily relaxed pilot flight duty time limitations to prevent acute crew shortages. To maintain essential supply chains, foreign carriers such as Emirates, Kuwait Airways and Jazeera have also been granted some special dispensations in the form of allowing them to operate passenger aircraft for all cargo services. This has ensured the seamless continuity of critical cargo movement despite the ongoing disruptions. So while the situation remains dynamic, the government remains firmly committed to ensuring passenger safety and convenience, uninterrupted cargo movement, and overall sectoral stability. The Ministry of Civil Aviation continues to work in close and continuous coordination with all stakeholders to ensure an effective, balanced, and responsive approach during this period.
Thank you. Now we move to Petroleum Ministry.
नमस्कार. देश में पेट्रोल, डीजल, एलपीजी, पीएनजी की सप्लाई सामान्य है. एलपीजी डिस्ट्रीब्यूटरशिप्स पर कोई ड्राई आउट रिपोर्टेड नहीं है. इसी तरह सारे पेट्रोल पंप भी नॉर्मल ऑपरेट कर रहे हैं, पर्याप्त डीजल और पेट्रोल के साथ, और कहीं पर कोई ड्राई आउट रिपोर्टेड नहीं है. एलपीजी सिलेंडर्स की डिलीवरी नॉर्मल है. ऑनलाइन बुकिंग लगभग 96% है और डीएसी और या ओटीपी बेस्ड डिलीवरी लगभग 90% तक है. कमर्शियल एलपीजी के संबंध में जैसा कि आप जानते हैं, भारत सरकार ऑलरेडी 70% तक कमर्शियल एलपीजी की सप्लाई रेस्टोर कर चुकी है और अभी तक 14 मार्च से लगभग 45.5 लाख 19 किलो के सिलेंडर्स भी सेल हुए हैं और इसकी क्वांटिटी लगभग 86,400 मेट्रिक टन्स होती है। कल लगभग 6,500 टन कमर्शियल एलपीजी की सेल हुई और अगर इसको हम 19 किलो के सिलेंडर्स के टर्म्स में देखें तो लगभग 3.5 लाख होता है। 5 किलो के सिलेंडर्स मैं आपको बताना चाहूँगी कि फरवरी महीने में एवरेज सेल पर डे लगभग 77,000 थी। कल भारत सरकार ने एक नया ऑर्डर इशू किया है और इस ऑर्डर के द्वारा 5 किलो एफटीएल सिलेंडर की सेल को डबल करने की बात की गई है। कल लगभग 1 लाख सिलेंडर 5 किलो के 1 लाख सिलेंडर्स की सेल हुई है। मैं ये भी बताना चाहूँगी कि हमारी ऑयल मार्केटिंग कंपनीज ने पिछले 4 दिनों में लगभग 1300 अवेयरनेस कैंप्स किए हैं और इन अवेयरनेस कैंप्स में लगभग 10,000 5 किलो के सिलेंडर्स भी सेल हुए हैं। अवेयरनेस कैंप्स का मेन उद्देश्य है अवेयरनेस बढ़ाना ताकि कंज्यूमर को ये पता हो कि 5 किलो का सिलेंडर उसको कहाँ पर मिल सकता है। 23 मार्च से लगभग 7,80,000 से ज़्यादा 5 किलो के सिलेंडर्स की सेल हो चुकी है। नेचुरल गैस के संबंध में भी मैं ये बताना चाहूँगी कि डोमेस्टिक कंज्यूमर को तो प्रोटेक्ट किया ही गया है, पीएनजी को और सीएनजी ट्रांसपोर्ट को। इसके अलावा फर्टिलाइजर्स को भी 6 तारीख से 90% उनका 6 महीने का जितना नेचुरल गैस का कंजम्पशन था उसको 90% तक ले जाने की बात कही गई है और ये ऑलरेडी इट इज़ अराउंड 80%। सीजीडी नेटवर्क्स को भी एडिशनल पीएनजी देने की बात कही गई है। इसके अलावा भारत सरकार ने कल एक मॉडल स्टेट सीबीजी पॉलिसी भी रिलीज़ की है स्टेट्स के लिए and it is basically based on consultation with the stakeholders and it is said that the states which will prioritize the CBG they will be considered for additional allocation of commercial LPG in the next tranche. तो जो states और UTs CBG को प्रमोट करने में आगे आएंगे उनके लिए कमर्शियल LPG की एडिशनल एलोकेशन की बात कही गई है। मार्च के महीने से लेकर अभी तक लगभग 3,76,000 नए कनेक्शंस को गैस दी गई है। इसके अलावा 4 लाख से ज़्यादा नए कंज्यूमर्स भी रजिस्टर हुए हैं। 16,500 से ज़्यादा एलपीजी कंज्यूमर्स ऐसे हैं जिनके पास पीएनजी है और उन्होंने एलपीजी कनेक्शन सरेंडर किया है। हमारी क्रूड की सिचुएशन कंफर्टेबल है। हमारी रिफाइनरीज आर वर्किंग आर ऑपरेटिंग एट ऑप्टिमम लेवल। सम ऑफ देम आर ऑपरेटिंग मोर देन 100% ऑल्सो। एनफोर्समेंट के बारे में मैं कहना चाहूँगी कि भारत सरकार लगातार स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स के टच में है, यूनियन टेरिटरी गवर्नमेंट्स के टच में है और कई बार उनको पत्र लिखे गए हैं। इसी क्रम में कल भारत सरकार के 3 सचिव MOPNG, INB एंड कंज्यूमर अफेयर्स की एक मीटिंग हुई है सारे स्टेट्स और यूनियन टेरिटरीज के साथ और वहाँ पर फोकस था कि जो फेक न्यूज़ है या मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन है उसको एक्टिवली काउंटर किया जाए, ब्रीफ्स दी जाए, जनता को इन्फॉर्मेशन दी जाए, सही इन्फॉर्मेशन ताकि उन तक पहुँच पाए। एनफोर्समेंट के बारे में मैं बताना चाहूँगी कि कल एक दिन में लगभग 4,300 रेड हुई हैं, लगभग 1,200 सिलेंडर सीज हुए हैं। इसके अलावा ऑयल मार्केटिंग कंपनीज ने अभी तक लगभग 1,700 शो कॉज नोटिस दिए हैं, 168 एलपीजी डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स पर पेनल्टी भी लगाई है और लगभग 45 एलपीजी डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स को सस्पेंड भी किया गया है। अंत में आप सभी के माध्यम से मैं देशवासियों से प्रार्थना करना चाहूँगी कि अफवाहों पर विश्वास न करें और आवश्यकता के अनुसार ही फ्यूल क्रय करें। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, Sujata. And now we move over to shipping industry.
All Indian seafarers in the
Audio.
Good afternoon. All the Indian seafarers in the region are safe and no incident involving Indian flag vessel has been reported in the past 24 hours. As of now, 16 Indian flag vessels with 433 seafarers remains in the Western Persian Gulf region. Directorate General of Shipping is in coordination with ship owners, RPSL agencies and Indian missions is actively monitoring the situation. The DG Shipping Control Room has handled 5,342 calls and around 11,000 emails since activation. In the past 24 hours, 229 calls and 406 emails are received. DG Shipping has facilitated safe repatriation of over 1,691 Indian seafarers so far, including 92 in the past 24 hours from airports and various regional locations across the Gulf. The ports remain operational and normal in India with no congestion reported. State maritime boards have also confirmed about smooth functioning. The ministry continues to coordinate with the Ministry of External Affairs, Indian missions, maritime stakeholders to ensure seafarer welfare and uninterrupted maritime operations. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. The Ministry of External Affairs continues to closely monitor the developments in the Gulf and West Asia region. Our efforts remain focused on ensuring the safety, security and welfare of the large Indian community in the region. We remain in close contact with the state governments and union territories for sharing latest advisories and to coordinate with our embassies and consulates. The dedicated control room in the ministry is working in tandem with our missions and posts to support Indian nationals. Across the region, our missions and posts are operating round-the-clock helplines and also responding to queries on email and social media channels. The advisories being issued by our missions have updated information regarding local government guidelines for safety and security, flight and travel situation, and consular services. Our ambassadors are regularly interacting with Indian community associations, organizations, professional groups, and Indian companies to understand and address their concerns. We continue to proactively assist our citizens for facilitation of visas, transit through neighboring countries where airspace restrictions apply, and providing logistical support where required. Our missions remain in close contact with the local governments. We are according high priority to the welfare of Indian students in the Gulf countries. Our missions are in regular touch and are actively coordinating with the local authorities, Indian schools in the region, concerned educational boards, and the National Testing Agency to address the concerns of students. Our missions continue to provide all support to the Indian crew members on vessels across the region, including coordination with local authorities and agencies, extending consular assistance and facilitating requests for return to India. An update on the status of flights. Flights continue to operate from the region to India from countries where airspace is open. Since February 28th, around 760,000 passengers have travelled from the region to India. Airlines continue to operate limited non-scheduled commercial flights based on operational and safety considerations between UAE and India. Around 90 flights are expected to operate from the UAE to India today. Flights are operating from various airports in Saudi Arabia and Oman to different destinations in India. With the Qatar airspace partially open, Qatar Airways is expected to operate around 8 to 10 flights to India today. Kuwait airspace remains closed. Jazeera Airways of Kuwait as well as Kuwait Airways have been operating non-scheduled commercial flights from Dammam Airport of Saudi Arabia to various destinations in India. Bahrain airspace remains closed. Gulf Air of Bahrain has been operating non-scheduled commercial flights from Dammam Airport of Saudi Arabia to various destinations in India. Our embassy in Tehran has so far facilitated movement of 1,862 Indian nationals from Iran to Armenia and Azerbaijan for onward travel to India. This includes 935 Indian students and 472 Indian fishermen. Due to flight restrictions and airspace closure, we continue to facilitate travel of Indian nationals from Israel through Egypt and Jordan to India, from Iraq through Jordan and Saudi Arabia to India, and from Kuwait and Bahrain through Saudi Arabia to India. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we take questions. Yes, first row, 54 and 67.
My question is for Sujata ma'am. There are reports that the oil marketing companies, they have capped the refinery transfer price. Can you share details on what is the mechanism that is being followed and the reason for that? Also on April 4, the ministry had said in a Twitter post that LPG vessel from Iran named as Seabird that is docked at Mangalore port and discharging LPG. Can you share details of that vessel? Has it discharged and has it left? Thank you.
Yes, 67.
Hi, Udit from the press. My question is also to Sujata ma'am. So ma'am, few days back, you told us that around 80,000 metric ton is the consumption of LPG. So given that lack of consumers are shifting from towards PNG, and new applications are also coming in, people have given up LPG. Have we seen any considerable or meaningful decline in the daily consumption of LPG?
Yeah, 46.
Thank you, I'm Anil Handa. My first question is to the aviation. What are the total number of flights which have been cancelled in this period? And on petroleum, ma'am, this 5 kg cylinder, the Delhi government has banned the sale of cylinders from the warehouses and offices of the dealers. So what is the delivery mechanism for this? And ma'am, I have a question on coal, can I?
Yeah.
Allow me? Yeah. Coal is something which is one of the major source of energy for the country, is it? And in a volatile situation, I would like to know if the coal gasification proposal have come or the government proposes to work on it.
4 in the first row and 22 and 2 and 280, then we take the next one.
This is for shipping ministry. Actually, yesterday you said that you will be going to provide us about the details of the vessels, Indian flag, and the commodities that they are carrying for India, and non-Indian flag and the commodities that they are carrying. So can you provide us a breakup on that? And Sujata ma'am, yesterday also we had asked this question about the Iranian oil purchases and the payment mechanisms. So if there is any detail that you would like to share with us today.
Good afternoon, my name is Saptaparna Ghosh, I'm from the Hindu. Question to civil aviation. It's that I'm just reading that Indigo's and a couple of other commercial carriers, their fuel surcharges have nearly doubled on certain routes. So what is your assessment on that front? And secondly, with respect to ATF, if you could describe the pressures that our scheduled carriers are facing as of now, and I mean, considering it was a staggered hike, what is the outlook going forward? And question to Sujata ma'am, could you, the order yesterday that came in about free trade LPG cylinders, it had its base as March 2nd and 3rd. Could you please help us understand the rationale for taking the base, because it goes back a month or so?
22.
Hi, my name is Aishwarya from Business Today. My question is tomorrow is we have seen Trump's tweet about the deadline that it has given to Iran. What kind of preparedness has the Indian government discussed? And in terms of the steps and policy, from a long-term point of view, by that I mean exploration and strategic reserves. If you can give some outlook on that.
280. Yeah. And then we can take 228 off.
Good evening, sir. My question is for Rao, sir. Sir, considering that while the fuel surcharge is there, the question has already been asked, but besides this, how is the government planning to provide relief to the airlines in terms of, say, ground charges at the airports, or is there any other plan in the making so that the industry can be supported in some way or the other?
Hi, my question is for the officer at Civil Aviation. So, the question was also previously asked about the number of flights that have been cancelled. Some people have been reporting, some publications have been reporting over 10,000 of flights or even more flights have been cancelled. Is there a weekly breakup that you could give us about the number of cancellations? And or if you could just give us a ballpark.
228. And then we'll take 16 also, then we'll.
So, Prakasham Pudiyeti, Madhubhumi Kerala.
My question is how many days worth of aviation fuel and petroleum products does India currently have in reserve? How many days it will last?
First,
Hi, Sukal from Indian Express. My question is to Asamba sir. Just wanted to check about these FDTL relaxations that have been given for long-haul flights in view of the West Asia crisis. Till when are they in effect? Because earlier I think we were given to understand that they should be in force until the end of April. But considering that we do not know how this war is going to go, and if there is currently no end in sight in that sense. Have deliberations already started on possibly extending the FDTL relaxation this time?
No, we have answered, we can start. So first question was regarding Delhi, one of the questions. तो उसके बारे में मैं ये बताना चाहूँगी कि दिल्ली सरकार का जो प्रयत्न है वो ये है कि लोग गोडाउन पर जाके ना खड़े हों और डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर के पास जहाँ पर उसके शोरूम में जहाँ पर उसको ये बताया जाए कि डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर के पास जाकर वो अपना 5 किलो का सिलेंडर ले सकते हैं। जब मैं अपनी ब्रीफिंग आपको दे रही थी तब भी मैंने एक नंबर आपको स्पेसिफाई किया कि पिछले 4 दिनों में जो हमने कैंप किए उसके बारे में 1300 के करीब, और इसके अलावा वहाँ पर कैंप्स के अंदर सेल भी किया सिलेंडर्स को। सो उसका प्रयत्न यही था कि हम लोगों को ये बता पाए कि एलपीजी का 5 किलो का सिलेंडर एलपीजी डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर के पास मिलेगा। सो दैट वाज द एफर्ट। इसके अलावा रिफाइनरी ट्रांसफर प्राइस के बारे में एक सवाल था। आई विल से दिस इज अ कमर्शियल डिसीजन बिटवीन द बायर एंड सेलर एंड दैट डिसाइड्स द प्राइस ऑल्सो। इसके एक्सप्लोरेशन, डाइवर्सिफिकेशन, एफर्ट्स टेकन के बारे में एक सवाल था। इसके संबंध में मैं कहना चाहूँगी कि हमने अपने क्रूड को काफ़ी हद तक प्रोक्योरमेंट को काफ़ी हद तक डाइवर्सिफाई किया है and we are taking crude from more than 40 countries. Similarly, LPG में भी वही डाइवर्सिफिकेशन की कोशिश की गई है और जैसे कि हम पहले यूएस से नहीं लेते थे, अब आर ऑयल मार्केटिंग कंपनीज आर टेकिंग फ्रॉम यूएस। स्ट्रैटेजिक रिजर्व के बारे में इट्स अंडर एक्टिव कंसिडरेशन एंड वी विल डेफिनेटली कम बैक टू यू एट appropriate time on that. Then one of the question was regarding the evacuation of product of some particular tanker. I am not having that information right now. What is the status? I will get back to you. न्यू पीएनजी कनेक्शंस की बात की और उसका इम्पैक्ट एलपीजी के ऊपर आपने कहा। आप जैसे कि जानते हैं कि हमारा आज की तारीख में एलपीजी डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर बेस इज मोर देन 33 करोड़। सो 33.5 करोड़ से ज़्यादा हमारे हाउस होल्ड्स हैं जो आज की तारीख में एलपीजी पर डिपेंड करते हैं। आप ये भी जानते हैं कि हमारी इंपोर्ट डिपेंडेंसी एलपीजी पर पीएनजी के मुकाबले ज़्यादा है। इसी सिचुएशन को रिजॉल्व करने के लिए, सॉल्व करने के लिए भारत सरकार का ये कोशिश है कि लोग एलपीजी से पीएनजी पर शिफ्ट हों और इसी क्रम में बहुत सारे डिसीजंस भी लिए गए हैं और समय समय पर आपको उससे अवगत कराया गया है। And we are hopeful in coming time we will have that impact visible also. Last point was regarding availability of petrol and diesel. मैं आपको ये कहना चाहूँगी कि in spite of all panic buyings, there has been a sufficient supply and that is still maintained. Thank you. It's the Ministry of Coal that can give. Yeah.
We will be having a briefing from Ministry of Coal to schedule.
Purchase mechanism was one question asked. I will say it is again. It depends on factors like what is the conversion rate, etc., which is decided by the companies. Thank you.
Ma'am, about the March 2nd and 3rd phase for the FTL order against India.
मैंने आपको जो ब्रीफिंग में बता रही थी तो मैंने आपको कहा था कि हमारा फरवरी के महीने में जो एवरेज कंजम्पशन रहा है वो लगभग 77,000 के आसपास रहा है. So March 2nd and 3rd का जो भी एवरेज रहा है that is more than what was in February. So to give a comfort and also give an additional supplies, this decision has been taken. Thank you.
So, the first question was regarding the flights cancelled. So, on an average, Indian carriers used to fly about, I think, between 300 to 350 flights a day, both ways. And today that number has come down to 89. So, you can do the math and you can assess the number of flights that have to be cancelled because of the situation prevailing. So, that takes the total since the beginning of this situation, that is from 28th of February. Yeah, the total number of flights cancelled by the Indian carriers is more than 10,000. So that is the status. Regarding the pressure on the airlines. Pardon? Yeah, so I said on a daily basis, every day, about anything between, because routes are not flown every day depending on the network. So 300 to 350 flights per day, both ways, was what Indian carriers used to operate between India and the Gulf region, basically, or this area, including West Asian countries. That has come down to 80/90 flights a day. So that is the remaining are cancelled. So over the period of this slightly over a month now, that number, the total number of flights cancelled is more than 10,000 by Indian carriers. Regarding the pressure on airlines, of course there's a pressure on airlines specifically from I would say on two fronts. One, 50% of all international operations by Indian carriers used to be to this region. And international flights are a good source of revenue for the airlines. So it has definitely impacted their revenue, income, and which obviously then affects the financials of the airline. The second thing obviously is the ATF, which I have mentioned. And